Yes, yes, yes. You are listening to KRDP. This is Sean P. And Dwayne is not here today because he had to enroll his daughter into GCU University today. Like I always like to say, family first. Family first. So let's congratulate his daughter on getting getting to that college trip, that college journey. It's a fun journey. Don't have too much fun, as some of us can attest to. And remember, the reason why you're in college is to get your degree. So congratulations to her. Today, we are going to talk about some football. We're going to talk about the Baltimore Ravens. And the Buffalo Bills first. Now this game was very interesting because you had two quarterbacks in Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen, two MVP candidates. Many commentators believe that Lamar Jackson is going to win the MVP. I believe he deserves the MVP as well. If Saquon Barkley would have broke that record, I would have said Saquon Barkley. But he didn't break the record. We're not going to get into that. We talked about that some weeks ago. We'll leave that alone. But we're going to talk about the two quarterbacks. Let's talk about Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. Josh Allen did the things to win the game. He wasn't the cause of losing the game. Not to say that Lamar Jackson was the cause, but Josh Allen didn't make any mistakes. Scored 2 touchdowns with his legs and really led his team to victory. Lamar Jackson had costly penalties. Excuse me, not penalties. He had costly turnovers. He had an interception where he threw it right to the guy. He threw it right to the DB. Threw it right to him. And that fumble, it went over it. The snap went over his head. He caught it. And it looked like it was going to be a miraculous play, but then the guy got him by his legs, twirled him around, and the ball slipped out of his hands. But he still had a chance to win. And if he would have pulled it out, it would have been great. It was like Lamar was the best player on the team. It wasn't like he was the best player on the field. And he drove them 88 yards. There, got a touchdown, and he put that ball right in the gut of Mark Andrews. Corral it. All he had to fall back. Boom, 2-point conversion, 27-27. We're going into overtime probably. And who knows then? Mark Jackson had an uncharacteristic game. He's short-handed. You know, Mark Andrews is short-handed. He doesn't fumble a lot. I believe they said he hadn't fumbled in like 2 seasons, something like that. I mean, it was oh man, it just was it was just amazing. That to see him drop that pass and he fumbled, that was like unbelievable. I was surprised that they didn't run Mark Henry more. Mark Henry was getting going. That was a Mark Henry type game. It was cold. It was hard nosed. I mean, he was running downhill. I'm like, why are you not giving him the ball? Why are you not just boom, 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 just ramming it down their throats? They couldn't stop him. I'm trying to understand why they didn't keep doing that. I was like, it had to be a reason. Who knows? All I know is I had Baltimore. I had Buffalo winning that game, and I didn't want to be right. I didn't want to be right. I didn't want to be right about that. Now, Detroit and Washington, I was wrong about that. I had Detroit. And Jared Goff had one of those Jared Goff games where, he go for 3, 4 interceptions. Man, he had one of those games. He was like he got greedy one time with Laporta. He could have passed to Laporta that was underneath, but he went for, I believe it was Amon St. Brown that was deeper. Got picked off. I believe he got picked off in the end zone. It looked like it was a pretty pass, but to the wrong person. Jameer Gibbs. Jameer Gibbs had a really good game. Really good game. Really good running game. He left it all out there on the field. I was surprised that and I shouldn't have been, because Washington, they're good. I mean, this Jaden Daniels, he's going to be, if he stays healthy, and I pray that he stays healthy, this guy is dynamite. He's TNT. He could throw the ball. I mean, did you see him on fourth down conversions? He had 3 of them. I believe one he threw a touchdown. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like they couldn't stop him. They couldn't stop him. And he's dangerous because he can run out of the pocket and he can run. He's dangerous. He's an amazing player. He's an amazing player. And I'm an Eagles fan, and he's in our division. I mean, they got him on a rookie contract. Oh my goodness, man. This is crazy. I mean, this is it's like you don't want to see him. You don't want to see him. You just don't want to see this kid. You don't want to see this kid twice a year. And he just and McLaren, Eckler had a great game. He had a good game. And McLaren had a good game. I mean, number 8. Was it number 8? No, it's a wide receiver. I think number 8 is the running back, Robertson Jr. But it was a wide receiver. I believe his name is Woods. Oh my goodness, he was catching deep balls. Oh man. And Houston and Kansas City, that game, it was a call on Mahomes. I didn't like that call because Mahomes was a runner. They made it seem like it wasn't a Trevor Lawrence hit, but I believe they got that in their minds. Now, here's my thing. I saw Lamar Jackson taking some hits that you should have maybe threw the flag on. Now, Stroud definitely took a hit. C.J. Stroud definitely took a hit in that game. They should have threw a flag on, but they threw it on Mahomes. Now I get it. Mahomes is the guy they want to keep him upright. He's the face of the league, but we can't give him championships. We can't give him that. That was a wrong call. That was right, but that really didn't decide the game. I mean, Kansas City defense, that number 53. I mean, he was all over C.J. Stroud. He was all over him. But they still had a chance almost, but everybody showed up for Kansas City. I mean, they had a long return in the beginning of the game. Houston missed extra points and got field goals blocked. So every facet of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, Kansas City beat them. And that's the mark of a champion. Where everything is going your way, everything is working. That's the mark of a champion. That's how great Kansas City is. And you can't deny that. You just can't. And if you do, you're just fooling yourself. Like, Kansas City's not going to beat themselves. You're going to have to beat Kansas City. You're going to have to be up 2 scores. You're going to have to be up by more than 10 points. You got to be up by 11 11 to 17 points or something like that to beat Kansas City because if you're only up by 4, Mahomes is a magician. He's going to beat you. You have to see that he's going to beat you. He's like Tiger Woods. You know, when they said people didn't like to see Tiger on the hunt, people didn't like to see that. Not that they were scared, they didn't want to see that because they knew what he was capable of. People know what Mahomes is capable of. Quite simply. You have to be up by 11 to 17 points. And you're not going to get the calls. You're going through Arrowhead, you're not getting the calls. And when you tackle Mahomes, you just got to wrap him up and pull him down and hope they don't call it. Pretty much. Or make it worth your while. I'm not condoning anybody trying to hurt somebody. I'll make it worth your while and drive them into the ground. Like, I mean, what else can you do? And I don't want to see that. I want to see good football. Now, the Los Angeles and Philadelphia. Now, like I said, I'm an Eagles fan. But I saw a lot of things I didn't like in that game. 50-50 balls, we got to win those. A.J. Brown can't be dropping touchdown passes. And then, he complaining and reading books and all that. Maybe you need to put the book down and catch the ball, Yeah. Just a little advice right there, I guess, Now, I'm not a football player, I'm not that. I'm what Marcellus Wiley would call a narp, not like a real person. I mean, I did run track in high school, but I didn't run it on the higher level. So I'm not talking bad about A.J. Brown. He's one of the greats. I'm just saying, come on. Now, I will say I would like to see Jalen get that ball out faster. I would like to see him pass for like 200 yards. Now, Washington is susceptible to the run, but if they load the box up, get one-on-one, we got a really good 1-2 punch. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, 1-2-3 punch. Come on now. Gotta get him the ball. Get him the ball. But then again, if Saquon is running crazy, you know what they say, run him till the wheels fall off. Keep doing it till somebody prove they can stop it. And nobody's been able to prove that yet. Now, what I will say is if they expect to beat like a Kansas City, he's going to have to throw that ball. Buffalo as well. Buffalo's defense is no slouch. We can't be missing extra points. Our kicker, Jake Elliott, can't be missing extra points. Every point counts. Can't be doing that. He made his field goals, but the extra points, come on now. Can't be missing those. We gotta win every opportunity. We simply have to. I mean, it's no excuse. 100% no excuse. In the next block, we're going to be talking about the national championship game and Victor Wembanyama. Stay tuned to the Keep It 1 Million show on KRDP 90.7 FM, Desert Soul Media. All right, fam. Yeah, on a break right now. Next, we're going to talk about the national championship. We also are going to be talking about Victor Wembanyama. We're going to be talking about how good that national championship game actually was, and Victor Wembanyama is going to France. We're also going to get into talking about the evolution of basketball with the European game and how it's, they play. They don't play back to the basket anymore. Talk a little Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, stuff like that. Juju Watkins. So I'm about to get on right now. Let's see. This beat is kind of short. Fine. Welcome back to the Keep It 1 Million show. You listen to Sean P., yours truly. Right now, we're going to get into the national championship game. The Notre Dame Fighting Irish and The Ohio State University. The Ohio State University is your new national champion. Out of the Big Ten. Last year was Michigan. Out of the Big Ten. This was a good game. Starting off, Notre Dame's quarterback Leonard, he actually used his legs a lot, scored a touchdown. But then after that, Ohio State just rattled them off. But they started going, and Leonard showed that he could fling the ball. And he got him there as a wide receiver. His name is Greathouse. Had a tremendous game. The game was. When they kept creeping closer, especially they had a 2-point conversion, they even got Lou Holtz hype. Lou Holtz was hype. He was in the box, and he was hype about that. And I was as well watching it, just being a fan. Not a fan of either team, but just a fan of sports in general. I like to see a good game, but pretty much Notre Dame ran out of steam, and Ohio State ran away with it. So congratulations to the Buckeyes, Buckeye Nation. I know a lot of Buckeye fans. Congratulations to you all for your win. I said last week, no matter who won that Notre Dame Penn State game, they was fighting for the right to lose to Ohio State. Ohio State was clearly, out of the 4 teams left, they were clearly the best team. They were clearly, bar none, the best team. And Ryan Day will keep his job for the next 20 years. That's a score. The next 20 years, you know. Everybody thought, he's going to get fired. He's going to be fired. Nah. He won a national championship, and he's probably going to win a few more. I like this playoff system because it gives us parity. We no longer had an SEC dominating. That's what was happening. There's this one YouTuber by the name of FD Signifier. He calls himself a video essayist. And it's interesting because his videos are actually pretty long, but this one video wasn't that long. He talked about college football in general, and how with this college football playoffs, it's going to be more parity. I already knew it was going to be more parity, but he really broke it down because the SEC was dominating. But now the SEC pretty much because of name, image, and likeness as well. It's going to be more wide open. And I'm enjoying it. I like seeing different teams win. And hopefully Penn State wins. I'm a Penn State fan. Hopefully Penn State wins next year. That would be great to see. Penn State hasn't won a national championship since I was in elementary school. Actually, if you want to count when they had Keyshawn and Carter that year, I believe they may have been co-national champions that year. Maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I know my senior year in high school, the Wisconsin Badgers won the Rose Bowl because it was a kid that went to high school. I went to high school with him. When I was a junior, he was a senior. So his freshman year, he got redshirted. He got redshirted, and then he came back. He came back to school and showed us his Rose Bowl ring. Dope. It was dope. And also, so I actually go to church with a guy. He played in the Liberty Bowl, and he wears his Liberty Bowl ring on his chain. It's always dope talking to those athletes. But college football is just going to be more wide open now, and I'm enjoying the fact that it's more wide open. I enjoyed the fact that the national championship game featured Notre Dame. A team from years ago that was one of the greats, an independent team as well. they're not in the conference. So how the college football works is the conference champions and the conference champions of the Big Five, I believe, the bigger conferences, they automatically get in. You got your at-large bids, but Notre Dame is they just have to pretty much have a good record. They were 14-1 this year. They lost. They got upset earlier in the year, but they definitely played out the rest of the year and got to the Natty. They lost, but they got there. Also, I'm enjoying the fact that teams like a team like a Colorado is doing well with what Deion did with that team. And once again, it proves how this college football system is expanding, and including other these teams that normally wouldn't get a chance to sniff a national championship get to, because Deion took that team from when he got there, they only won one game the year before. They won 4 his first year, then they almost got to the college football playoffs. This year they got to a bowl game. They lost to BYU, which is interesting because BYU actually has some guys that he cut off their team. It's crazy how that worked out. But I'm happy for Coach Prime, and I enjoy the fact that he's really improving that team. And I would like to see him stay with the Colorado Buffaloes and not go to the NFL, not jump to the NFL. Because I believe he could do a lot of good things in the college game. It depends on what he wants. He's his own man. You know, he's his own man, just like Victor Wembanyama is his own man, playing in France right now against the Indiana Pacers. What can you say about Victor Wembanyama? I mean, 7 feet, can handle the rock, can run the floor, can shoot the jumper. Reminds you, KD, they say you need to put on more muscle. No, he don't. KD didn't need to. KD's a Hall of Famer, 2-time champion. And if KD would have won a championship with Brooklyn, he really would have been solidified. He really would have been straight up solidified. Not that he isn't now, but that championship would have really helped. But Wembanyama's going back to France where he won a silver medal. And I believe the women's team won a silver medal as well. The French women's team won a silver medal as well. Victor Wembanyama is a testament to that European game where they phased out back to the basket play. Really, if you play with your back to the basket now, your game is considered archaic, and which is a shame because players like Jahlil Okafor, man, he had such a beautiful game. He had that back to the basket handle. Man, it was just vicious. And he give you them fakes, lay you up, shoot that little jumper. Man, Angel Reese needs to work out with him and Akeem Olajuwon. Akeem Olajuwon for the footwork and the fundamentals. Same thing with Jahlil Okafor as well. If she got a mixture of that game and develop that 10, 15-foot jumper, oh man. She I'm not gonna say she would be unstoppable. I'm not gonna say that. But she would be something to contend with. She would be something to contend with. Man, I'm just thinking it in my head. I'm like, man, you know, it's funny. I hope the Chicago Sky. I want them to get that number 1 pick and take Paige Beckers. They're one of the better lottery teams, but so they're not gonna get that pick. But they got Paige Beckers. Man, that would be a wonderful point guard for their teams. A point guard that can score the ball and run the show. Man, now what I will say is I would like to see Juju come out, but she's not gonna be able to come out for like after this season. It'd be 2 more seasons. It'd be two more seasons. And Juju's game is ridiculous as well. I don't like to compare her to Caitlyn though. I don't even think she's going to break that scoring record either. But I don't want to compare her to Caitlyn because two totally different players. A lot of people are doing that. I don't really like to see that. Two totally different players. Juju Watkins is 6 feet 2 inches, solid on her flat feet. She's bigger, stronger. Her game, she's not shooting logo threes. She's not going to force the defense to spread out to her. And Caitlin Clark is just vicious. She really is. She's vicious like the character from Cowboy Bebop. she's just a vicious ball player. I don't like that comparison because it's apples and oranges. I don't consider either one better than the other one. I prefer Juju. Only because all that stuff that those women were pulling on Caitlyn, they wouldn't be able to do that to Juju. Juju big. Juju can for one thing, Juju is better defensively, and Juju can take and she can give it. I'm not saying that Caitlyn can't give it out, but that's not in her character. And I'm not saying it's in Juju's character, but they're not going to try to pull up on Juju. It's just like nah, once again, those two players just shows you how the game of basketball is growing, and how the collegiate women's game is just better than the men's because I can name more names in the women's game than I can in the men's game. And most of the really good men, they come from overseas, and they only spend 1 year. They only really spend 1 year in college. And the teams that win in college are like the UConns. They're the teams that they're together for like 3-4 years. That's why they win. That's why they win, and honestly, the players are getting young. Matter of fact, they'll say they'll consider Tatum and Jaylen Brown the elder statesmen, and they're not even in their 30s, but they're champions, and they may be champions again. I mean, Boston might be creating a dynasty out there, and I'm a Sixer fan. And I say, man, Boston may win it again. But you got some good teams out west. You got OKC, you got Memphis, and I can't remember who the number one team, because Memphis is last time I checked was the third best team, and I believe OKC is the number one in the West. I want to say Houston is in the top 3. I want to say Houston's up there. Udoka got them balling, and I knew that. I mean, man, Nick Nurse is cool, but man, if we could have got Ime Udoka as a coach, that I didn't think he should have got fired, but that's just me. But I will say, out east. You got Boston. You got Cleveland. They say Cleveland might mess around and win 71 games. That's crazy. But you got the Knicks. We got to see what Miami want to do with Jimmy Butler. I mean, they need to go and trade that dude. They'll be suspending him and everything. So you also got Milwaukee, and my Sixers, man. They might as well pack it in and then wait for everybody to get healthy next year, because these dudes, cavemen, hurt. I don't agree with Marcus Hayes using the writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer, putting his family name in it, because this is how it goes when you use somebody. Even if you're trying to be clever, and you're not trying to be disrespectful, it's still going to be taken as disrespect. Use family names in the article or whatever. And keep that out of it. Keep that out of it, and just talk about the player. And what he said about Embiid pretty much was right. Mm-hmm. Coming into the season out of shape, and come on, man. He's not playing right now. The Denver crowd was saying The Democrat was like, "Where is Embiid? Where is Embiid?" I mean, come on, man. I mean, really? So, just I just want to, like, I'm a Philly fan. I just want to see a parade down Broad Street. Whether it don't matter who the squad is. I just want to see a parade down Broad Street. I've seen two within. I seen one with the Phillies back in '08. I seen one with the Phillies back in '08, and I seen one with the Eagles back in 2017. I want to see one this year with the Eagles. I really do. Like old school group Ed OG and the Bulldog said, I got to have it. I got to have it. Shoot, what did I say? I got to have it. I miss Mr. Magic, versatile, my style. Well, okay, can't keep going with that. He says a slur in there, but I just don't like what I'm seeing with the Sixers, not at all. But I do like what I'm seeing with Memphis and them. Memphis and OKC. Like, I thought SAG should have won MVP last year, but it's tough for a guard to win an MVP. It's like the last MVPs were all big men. The last guard was Steph Curry. No, what is that? No, it was James Harden, right? James Harden was last guard to win that award. And it's just it's a big. The big man was Giannis won it, Embiid, and then Djokovic won it three times. He won it 3 times. I believe Giannis won it twice and Embiid won it once. So it's starting to shape out to be a big man award. So, but man, SAG had a heck of a year last year. Right, he had a heck of a year last year. Very, very good year last year. That young man, he's a really, really good basketball player. But in the next block, we're going to be talking about Trump, how Trump is affecting sports, and also how he's affecting sports and a few other things as well.
One way listeners like you can support KRDP is by becoming a volunteer. KRDP is looking for volunteers to assist with activities like fundraising, engineering, promotions, and community outreach. We need you. For more information or to sign up to become a KRDP volunteer,
sign up to be a volunteer.
254-6636 or visit our website. Listen, the number 2, krdp.com, and click on the volunteer button on the top of the menu. We look forward to seeing you soon at KRDP.
My frat brother Choice did this beat right here. This is his beat right here. And YouTube can't fight me for it because it's an original beat. You are listening to KRDP 90.7 FM, Desert Soul Media, Phoenix, Arizona. I am Sean P. And we are going to get into Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States. Some people need to come to the front of the congregation. Nelly, Snoop Dogg, and Soulja Boy. They got people extremely upset in these streets. Nelly spoke to Willie D on Willie D's podcast, Willie D Live. I watched it on YouTube, and pretty much people are saying that they believe he, sold out or whatever. And Willie D posed a question to Nelly. He said, "What do you say to some people that say that you perform for somebody that represents white supremacy?" And he said, "Oh, well, somebody that drafted the crime bill, somebody that went on, told a black man on a black radio show that you're not black if you don't vote for him." You know what I'm saying? He said that. And I was like, okay, I'm agreeing with him. I'm like, okay. I'm like, so what's the problem? Look, Nelly pretty much said, I'm a performer. He said, I would have did it for Kamala. Kamala didn't call me up. Kamala didn't ask me to perform. Kamala asked Megan Thee Stallion to perform. Megan Thee Stallion got up there and performed and was twerking on stage. I know some people disagree with me and say, oh no, she wasn't twerking. She was doing a TikTok. And no, she was twerking on stage. So that's the look we want for black women on stage. Kamala Harris, a black woman, had her up there. Come on now. She went up there and did that. But you mad at Nelly. You mad at Nelly. You upset at Nelly, calling Nelly stupid. I saw the comments calling him stupid. He trying to sound intelligent. Like, that's one thing about the comment section, boy. It's a cesspool. They call you stupid, call you the C word when they don't agree with you. Man, but it was a real good conversation he and Willie D had. And I like that. I like that conversation. I liked it. Willie D did a good job. He did a real good job. He did an extremely good job. Even Stephen A. Smith gave him great, and him and Stephen A. Smith don't see eye to eye. I mean, he really did be digging into Stephen A. Smith, but he was like, Stephen A. Smith had a good point. He said, if you could disagree with my opinions, but you don't have to attack me personally. And that's what a lot of people do. It goes right back to the comment section. People attack you personally. Attacking Nelly personally. And he didn't even take a side in it. Like myself, I'm independent. I'm an independent. Willie D said he's an independent. Stephen A. Smith is. Snoop Dogg is. Nelly said he's an independent. Like, I mainly vote in my local. I vote nationally, but I vote in my local election. That's really important to me. What happens in the state of Arizona, where I live at. I mean, now Snoop Dogg is a different case because years ago he had a video calling people saying that the C word, the J word, that I'm not going to say on air, but saying that they be sellouts and UTs. I'm not going to say the word. Say if they perform for Trump's inauguration. Now, to be fair, they didn't do the inauguration. I know Snoop Dogg and Soulja Boy did the crypto ball. I can't quite remember what Nelly did. I believe Rick Ross also did the crypto ball, but a lot of people were like, but you said this, that because the internet is undefeated. 100% the internet is undefeated. People dig up your tweets, dig up all your stuff. And you got to be ready to be like, you got to be ready to defend yourself. And honestly, he looked bad. Snoop Dogg looked bad. He looked really bad. Am I mad at him? No, I'm not. I'm not mad at him at all. Not at all. Not at all. Just like I'm not mad at Soulja Boy. Soulja Boy, I looked at his video as well. He said Kamala didn't call me. He said I would have did it if Kamala called me. He said Trump called me. Trump put money in my pocket. He showed the money and everything. He said, people say, oh, he the C word and this and that. Let me ask you a question. Now, I know some of y'all gonna lie. Some of y'all gonna lie. But I'm gonna tell you right now, if Trump was like, came to me and Dwayne was like, hey, I like the numbers that the Keep It 1 Million show is doing. I like what y'all talking about. I want y'all to do this event for $300,000. I'm just throwing them out there. And this is just hypothetical. We want y'all to do something for $300,000. I'm not like, oh, we can set up our stuff and we can do our and we can do our own thing. And we can interview people and all that. Like, yeah. Now I can't speak for Dwayne, but I'll do it. I don't feel as though I'll be selling my soul or anything, but I'll do it. Why not? Why not? Because I'm here to tell you, don't none of y'all pay my bills. Don't none of y'all help pay my oldest daughter's college tuition. But you want to judge people. It's just like when people say, oh, no black person should go into the military. But are you willing to pay for them to go to college? Are you willing to help pay for their children's health care? No, well, shut up then. Stop it. Stop it. That's their decision. Stop that. Come on. Let's just keep it a buck. And I really did love what Soulja Boy had to say. Like, come on, y'all. Kamala didn't ask him to perform. And he did it. Now, would you have did it? Maybe not. But he did. Okay. Now, like I said, you won't be mad at Snoop because Snoop did look like a hypocrite. Maybe he was a hypocrite. Yeah, that looked bad on Snoop's end. That looked really bad on Snoop's end. It really did. I'm sorry, Snoop. It looked really bad. But for a little bit of his defense, he did say that one of his good friends who supported the Snoop Youth Football League made it big in crypto, and he was helping pay for the league. Snoop was paying out of his pocket, and the guy was helping pay for his league. He was the one that asked him to come to the crypto ball and do that. So he did it as a favor. Now, it wasn't so much that Trump pardoned Harry O. It wasn't so much of that. It wasn't. It was more so that dude. And Snoop gets to rub elbows with some people, make some business deals out there. Because Snoop it's the haves and the have-nots. And Snoop is part of the haves. He is. It's about making that money. Honestly, you think any of those three men, and Soulja Boy told you in the video, because he was using a lot of profanity, but he pretty much told you where to go and what to do. Oh well. Do I agree with what they did? Like I said, I would set up my stuff. I'm not saying I don't align my politics with theirs, but I would still do my thing. Now, if it was something that I knew where they were spewing something that I didn't agree with, like if I was like if I went there and I saw Elon Musk throw up that Nazi thing, the Nazi salute, I'd be like, oh man, that I would speak about it right away. Like, that ain't cool. Whoop-de-woo. That ain't cool. We do not condone that here at the Keep It 1 Million show. So on and so forth. That's exactly what I would say. Because that was not a good look. That Nazi salute thing. When people say he was hitting his heart and doing all this, well, he could have went like this and went like that, went and pointed like that. Nah, man, nah. You're gonna have a hard time convincing a Jewish person that he wasn't doing the Nazis. You have a hard time with that. Just like with the swastika, you're gonna have a hard time convincing a Jewish person that it's a Tibetan charm meaning something positive, because that's what it meant. Before the Nazis perverted it, that's what it meant. But guess what? The Nazi Party perverted it, and now it belongs to the Nazi Party, and not Tibet. I'm sorry, it just does, and you can't candy code it. So it's best not to ever use it in anything. It's best not to use it in anything. But Trump is a very shrewd politician, though. He can. I'm telling you, man. The man can sell salt to a snail. I'm dead serious. I mean, he got Hulk Hogan to come to the RNC, which didn't do him any damage, but it did Hulk Hogan damage. Hulk Hogan went to Raw and got booed. And you got these wrestling podcasts that's sitting up there talking about, oh, it's because I think Kevin Nash was saying it, because I saw Kevin Nash saying it, and no, Kevin Nash, you're wrong. He got booed because he's racist. Because of that racist tirade. Because The Undertaker's a Trump supporter, had Trump on his podcast. He didn't get booed. No, he didn't get booed. No, not at all. He did not get booed. But he did, Hulk Hogan did get booed. Booed out saying O'Shea Jackson Jr. said him and Wale was part of that. I mean, Hulk Hogan did, everybody remembers that tirade. Talking about he didn't want his daughter dating the N-word. She said maybe if it was an 8-foot tall N-word making millions of dollars, yeah, he'd be down with that. Man, that means you only think of us as chattel. Like, we only get enough to produce babies, athletic babies. Okay. I used to be a Hulkamaniac when I was a kid. Not so much now. They let him. The WWE let him back. He pushing the real American beer. Okay. He's probably not gonna come back. Oh man, like Jim Cornette said on his podcast. He said poor Jimmy Hart was out there. He said Jimmy Hart one of the nicest people you ever gonna meet in the world. Out there waving the flag, and they couldn't get the crowd behind him. Man. And speaking more on Trump and sporting events, did you know that there are going to be 2 major sporting events during Trump's tenure in office? It's going to be FIFA's World Cup in 2026, and it's going to be the Olympics in Los Angeles in 2028. And both of these events are promoting. They're promoting inclusivity. Oh, I'm pronouncing that. Inclusiveness. I was pronouncing that incorrectly. Inclusiveness, hope, and diversity. Now, Trump ran on a rhetoric where you can hear in his words he doesn't believe in any of that. He's talking about deporting illegal immigrants, a lot of whom populate Los Angeles. Los Angeles has a huge Hispanic population. It won't be a good look if you see people getting deported during that time. It won't be a good look at all. Advertisers might want to stay away from it, but Trump is believe it or not, he's an extremely intelligent man. He's not an imbecile. He's not an idiot. He's not a moron. He's not stupid. He knows how much money is going to be generated from FIFA, which is going to be United States, Canada, and Mexico hosting FIFA. He knows there's going to be a lot of money generated in the Olympics. He's not stupid. He's not going to have America look bad. He won't. He knows that it won't be a good look to be doing anything that people would deem messed up on TV. He knows that. He knows that very well. He knows that very well. And I believe that he's going to have people around him, a think tank, Shark Tank, whatever you want to call it, to figure it out. It's going to be very interesting to see the sports world under President Trump. I'm actually excited for it. I'm also excited for boxing. Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. They haven't finalized anything yet. I've been looking at Yahoo Sports, Bleacher Report, and ESPN. They haven't finalized anything yet. But I believe it will happen. as well as Tank and Frank Roach. We know that's going to happen, and I don't expect Tank to lose. I don't bet against Tank. You just don't bet against Tank. It's going to be interesting boxing because that Canelo Alvarez fight with Terrence Bud Crawford, man, that can go either way. That can go either way. Now I'm more so on the Canelo side because I really like Canelo Alvarez. I've liked Canelo Alvarez for years. I liked him before he fought Floyd, and I knew he was going to lose to Floyd. But after he lost to Floyd, you saw how much better he got. He's only now. A lot of people say the Triple G fight. He lost Triple G fight. It's always tough to judge fights, those type of fights, But he's never ran from anybody. He's fighting everybody at their peak, So I like Canelo. Now, can Terrence Bud Crawford beat him? Yes, he could. He had to move up 2 weight classes, so that's he's going to be out of his element right there. But I'm not doubting him. I'm not going to doubt Bud. I mean, because he's a really great fighter. Such a great fighter. Such a truly great fighter. This guy, once he gets you hurt and in trouble, you hurt and in trouble. Believe that. I remember when he beat Sean Porter, and nobody ever truly beat Sean Porter. I mean, Sean Porter has lost fights, but nobody beat him. Like he just lost the fight. Well, guess what? Terrence Crawford beat him. Matter of fact, Sean Porter, if he wouldn't have went down against Errol Spence, some say he might have won that fight. I said it would have been a draw, but yeah, I like Sean Porter. I watch his podcast as well. I like Sean Porter a lot. So, boxing fans, let's get ready for that fight. Canelo Alvarez, Terrence Bud Crawford. Tank. Also Tank and Frank Roach. So, tune in with us next Thursday. Keep It 1 Million Show on KRDP 90.7 FM. Desert Soul Media. I am Sean P. and I am out. Alright, y'all. I'm out. My man, my frat brother. Choice.